criticizes my way of life were to come forward, I'd turn around and kill every single one of their loved ones, so that they too could grasp what it's like to experience this hatred of mine.
So this chapter comes straight off of Yuji hitting his domain expansion, which sends Sukuna and Yuji into a mysterious train station. Sukuna says that in the midst of combat, a sorcerer can be able to connect with his opponent on a spiritual level, although it is rare. He considers this phenomenon a side effect since cursed energy is rooted in human emotions. And even though he's had this happen to him before, this feels different. So he questions Yuji if this is his domain, and Yuji tells him to shut up because he doesn't even know what's going on himself. He goes on to say that he just wanted to chat with Sukuna, and for him just to chillax a bit. Now, before we get into the real heavy parts of this chapter, I'd like to note that this chapter is not called Shinjuku Showdown, or whatever we are on, but that day, meaning that this fight is now going to transition from everyone taking down Sukuna to Yuji finishing the job. Just thought I'd let y'all know. Also, this chapter contains a lot of talking, but I promise you, it's all worth it in the end. Yuji proceeds to take Sukuna on a tour through his memories, showing him a statue of the demon sword dance, in which Sukuna says he doesn't know what that is, but Yuji's like, it's cool, nobody but the locals would know about this anyways. He goes on to say, as they head down a corridor, that until he was about 6 or 7, he lived in this area right here, until he moved back to Sendai, where he was born. And the only reason why he lived here was because of his grandpa's work. A while before the series started, he came here for the first time in almost 10 years for a funeral of one of his grandpa's friends, and he was taken aback by how much the town changed. But in the end, he wasn't really surprised because he expected it to end up this way, so it didn't stir him emotionally. Also, remember this line because it's gonna come back in the end. Sukuna does not give a fuck about what's going on right now. He making the same face that niggas be doing in the back of the class when the teacher's talking about an upcoming assignment. Yuji got his ass in an unskippable cutscene. He just want to go home. Yuji goes on to say that he wonders if the same person would have came to his grandpa's funeral if he had died first. On the next page, they go to a park where Yuji used to hang out. Yuji goes on to talk about his experiences here, like how he got his foot stuck in the box swing and he thought he was gonna die. Dumbass. And how he tried to wash the sand out of his slime with a water fountain, and then it went down the drain. And why is this nigga Sukuna so mad, bro? A chance to get some quality time in with his nephew and he over here bugging out. Yuji starts taking a look at the flowers nearby and notices one of them is a morning glory, but Sukuna corrects him, saying it's a different type of flower. And over here, he almost looks interested in what's going on. Yuji goes on to say that he's low-key surprised that Sukuna knows the name of flowers, considering that he doesn't care about anything besides strength. And he says it's thanks to Megami's memories. And Yuji wonders if Sukuna would remember this area considering he had Yuji's memories in the first place. But Sukuna says that he doesn't go through memories like that. They head to another park where people can catch crayfish, and Yuji tells Sukuna that he should try it as well, unless the King of Curses can't even catch some fish. And this nigga falls for the bait, no pun intended. Yuji really a D1 instigator. They get some crayfish as Sukuna remarks that Yuji's, which is the one on the right, is hella tiny, while Yuji says that Sukuna's crayfish is American, and since Yuji has a rare one, he's the winner. And Sukuna is like, what you say? And Yuji's like, you heard me. Crazy to see them just acting like brothers right here, as if they weren't trying to kill each other like 2 minutes ago. Also, there's probably some really cool symbolism right here or something, but honestly, I'm not good with that symbolism shit, so I'll leave that to y'all in the comments. They move on, Yuji talking about how the department store over here helped shut down a bunch of small businesses in the area, and even though that was unfortunate, the store had a movie theater, so it made up for it. He tells Sukuna that even though the countryside appears gray, they can head a little further where there's more greenery, so he shouldn't worry. Sukuna tells him that he hasn't expected shit, so move on. Yuji goes on to show him the rice fields he used to catch grasshoppers in. They used to be a lot back in the day, but he notices that they aren't a lot anymore. And Sukuna is about ready to tell this nigga to stop yapping when Yuji tells him to hold on, because he has a few more places he'd like to see. Then they go to a farm, and Yuji's over here gushing over horses, saying that no matter how many times he sees them, their faces always seem bigger than he remembers. His grandpa used to bring him to this farm very often, and when he looks back, he realizes that he was truly more a parental figure than his mom and dad. Then they stop by this ice cream place. Yuji saying that his dumbass once spent his entire allowance on ice cream in one day, and that he ate so much that he threw up. And Sukuna is like, damn, you really been slow from the start? Not even blame him for this remark, cause how are you gonna spend all your money on ice cream? Real niggas spend all their allowance on Lego sets and Hot Wheels and shit. At least if you're a guy. Anyway, back to the manga. Then Yuji spots an archery range and says they should go try it out. And Sukuna proceeds to land a perfect 10. Team USA could low-key use him right now for real. Yuji says that Sukuna really isn't cute at all, and I don't know what he means by that, cause Sukuna, cute? Alright bro. But Sukuna says that he should have known that he's just better. And Yuji agrees because he's from an era of real bow slingers. Then Yuji goes on to explain his winter experiences and how he used to shovel the driveway and drink milk tea when he was done, which he real as hell for that, by the way, and how he used to believe Santa was real. And Sukuna after that was like, alright bro, that's enough. And Yuji says alright then, because he feels like he's shown Sukuna enough anyways. Sukuna calls Yuji's tour a cluttered, hideous mess and wonders what was the point of this. And then we finally get to the good part of this chapter. So peep game, because Yuji's about to start spitting. Yuji says that up until now, he thought that understanding and fulfilling one's role was what it meant to live. And if you die fulfilling that said role, you could say you had a proper death. But now, he feels that isn't quite right. Roles like walking the dog or providing for a family, none of that really matters. Even if there was no such roles and you just had to live like a bum, or you were bedridden with an illness, and your life was disconnected from everyone else and leaves nothing behind, even if only small fragments of memories are drifting around, a person's life still holds value beyond the memories that create their identity, and it isn't about how you die. Damn, this nigga spitting. Yuji goes on to say that he couldn't just forgive someone that acted like that value didn't exist. He straight up tells Sukuna that he hates him, and goes on to say that people aren't tools. They aren't born with any predetermined roles, and he can never really tell who's a good guy or a bad guy. This, my friends, is what we've been waiting for. Yuji finally getting out of that cog mentality. It is very rare to see a person or a protagonist change their ideals more than once, especially in the span of 6 months. But Yuji has done just that, going from someone who idolized a proper death to someone who saw himself as a cog in a machine, destined to kill curses forever in order to protect others. And now finally realizing that in order to beat Sukuna, he needs to win against himself. Realizing that it's not about how you die, but how you live that matters in the grand scheme of things. And only you can truly validate your existence. Realizing that he can choose his own future. This shit moved me, man. My boy finally freeing himself from the shackles of guilt. You love to see it. But Sukuna says that he doesn't feel anything. And even though he understands where Yuji is coming from, it doesn't make him feel any type of way. He feels the same way Yuji did when he accepted the decline of the town just a few pages before. That's just how it is. Sukuna doesn't care about humanity unless it's beneficial to him and his goals. Unless he can use them for his own, their so-called value that Yuji's been trying to show him through his memories means nothing. The only value Sukuna sees in humans is strength. That's why he respected sorcerers such as Higuruma, Maki, and Gojo. But someone like Yuji, someone who in Sukuna's eyes is weak, shouldn't even have the audacity to think about wanting to live happily and save others from suffering. They should just die. Yuji represents everything Sukuna goes against, and that's why he hates that nigga so much. But what I find interesting is that before, Sukuna wouldn't even fathom listening to Yuji talk about his memories and experiences, but yet here we are. I think that unintentionally, through their entire fight, he's growing to respect Yuji's unbreakable will and strength, while at the same time still calling him a brat because he still doesn't want to admit it. Kinda cool to see. And this kinda reminded me of what Nanami said back in chapter 236. If you want to become new, go north. If you want to stay the same, go south. Yuji gave Sukuna a chance to go north, a chance to understand and see the value in others, but he chose to go south and stay the same. Yuji takes it in stride, saying that he knew this wasn't gonna work, and Sukuna says that he's shocked by Yuji's cowardice, wondering if all of Yuji's anger and hatred towards him only amounted to this. And he comes to a shocking realization as he asks Yuji if he's been pitying him this entire time, trying to offer him kindness. And we should have known something devious was gonna happen. We saw Yuji posted up like this, hands folded too, and this was tough as shit right here. Nigga really activated his locked in eyes like that Sharingan and gave this nigga an ultimatum. Told his ass he had the ability to end his life and to release Megami or else. Posing like the fallen angel too. Man, this kid is so raw. And to say Sukuna was mad about this would be the understatement of the year. Talking about this, how this saying this is a serious misunderstanding, and that he won't stop at slicing him to bits, but will make sure that he kills every friend that he holds valuable to show him that their so-called value is of no concern to him. And I'm over here sitting like, bro, what friends? All them niggas are either dead, in the process of dying, or nowhere to be found. This is an empty threat. You can't beat a man who has lost everything. And unfortunately for Sukuna, he's gonna find that out the hard way. Anyway, I rate this chapter a calm 10 out of 10. It is very rare that we get to see these calm, slice of life per se moments in this manga, but I really enjoyed it. Seeing Sukuna and Yuji chilling together was kind of nice to see. But I think the best part about this chapter was seeing Yuji and Sukuna talk about their ideologies. And more importantly, seeing Yuji break from that cog mentality. Honestly, even with all the strongest yapper allegations, this was a hella good chapter and a great preview for what's soon to come. Yuji versus Sukuna. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. If you made it to the end right here, comment #UjiGo in the comments. And yet, I love you. See y'all in 2 weeks. Goodbye. Before we end it off, this video was sponsored by Anime Express. Anime Express has a variety of merchandise from all your favorite animes, such as Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto, Demon Slayer, One Piece, and others. They got a variety of stuff and cool things, such as hoodies, t-shirts, necklaces, and this dope ass sword over here. Personally, my favorite is the Choso hoodie, cause as much as I be hating on bro, this shirt is tough as hell. And if you want 10% off, use my code NOAH10 at checkout. Link in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching.